Podge, it is a chance to get into the second round of the Papa John's Trophy. It's a competition that surely everyone wants to progress in.
I think so. I think it's. I think after this one, you might be 4 games away from Wembley, and it's a brilliant way and a brilliant opportunity for players to get a chance to play at Wembley. I've been lucky enough in my career to have played there a few times, and it's an unbelievable stadium and the atmosphere around the place. And it's the type of games kind of you want to be involved in big games like that. So it's an opportunity for players to progress that way. But obviously the other side of it as well, it's an opportunity for lads to get minutes and stake a claim for their place in the team for Saturday's games as well.
So for yourself, you've come into a young squad with so much experience. How have you helped mentor some of the younger heads?
I think it's just about, I suppose, well, first I've really enjoyed the fact that, it's quite a young squad and they're very good at listening as well. I think that's one of the big keys, because when they ask questions and you give answers, they listen to what you're saying, take it on board, and then you can see them put it in practice. And I think that's the one thing Exeter kind of have always had in previous years, where they've, got young players through the academy system and sold them on for very decent money. But they continually turn them out. So it's not just say that they're listening to what I have to say. They're listening to what all the other experienced players in the squad have to say. They're listening to, what the manager and the coaching staff have to say, because, they've been around football for a long time. They know the way it works, and it's been excellent. I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far. And as I said to you, the young players, the big thing for them is they listen and they want to learn. So they're constantly asking questions. So I'll always be, ready to listen to what they want to say. And the same I've said to them as well, like, if there's something that you want to, if you think that I should be doing something, tell me, because you're never too old to learn. And obviously them telling players, the experienced players, will only benefit themselves in the longer term as well.
And obviously this competition gives a chance for them to show the gaffer that they have been listening.
Yeah, completely. And I think in the 2 games we've played in it so far, I think you've seen the young players that have come in and they've done an excellent job. I suppose none more so than Harry Lee in the last round. He became a bit of a hero. Sonny made his debut, which was brilliant. So it's opportunities for players like that. And, it's really, really, I really enjoy these games, because, one of the older players in the team, so people are maybe looking up to you a little bit, but obviously they bring your game on as well with their youthful enthusiasm, and you can only learn off that.
So on the very few times this season where we've looked like we've needed a bit of inspiration, you've been introduced. Mansfield springs to mind, where you got the assist for Tim. How important is it to the team as a whole to know that there's someone like you on the bench that can come on and try and make an impact?
I think it's really important, and look, it's not just me; it's everyone else who's pushing Monday to Friday in training. The starting 11 is only as good as the team that backs them up, the subs that back them up. And if for 1 minute those lads were just, we're going to play every week, you'd see a standard drop off. But that's not the case. The players are pushing them every day in training, because I want to be that player starting. I don't want to be the player coming off the bench. Yes, it's great when it does happen, and when it goes right, it's brilliant. But I want to be the one playing those games and starting the games, and hoping someone else comes off the bench to change it up. But the one thing it does show is that it's important that when you are training during the week, if doesn't look like you're going to be in the starting 11, you're constantly watching the players in your position, what they're supposed to be doing, what the runs they're making, the runs they're supposed to make, the positions they're supposed to take up. And then it comes down to watching the game of a Saturday and not just letting it pass you by on the pitch. And or when you're sitting and watching it from the bench, it's about watching it and looking at the weaknesses in the opposition's team, where you can come on and affect the game, where maybe we haven't been affecting the game so far. So you want to go on and leave a lasting impression. And, thankfully, I think in the games that have come on in this year, I have done that. And like I said to you, I want to be the one starting. So I'm pushing the lads up front, who have been absolutely fantastic for us this season. And that's the one thing I don't have any complaints about, because previous years, I could sit down and if I wasn't playing, I could have a little moan about things. And even though I'm doing really well, in certain aspects and stuff like that. You know, the lads are scoring goals as well, and there's not much you can do about it then. But you just have to wait for your chance. And the one thing I will do is when I do get my chances, I'll make sure I'll take it.
It's that wonderful professionalism that just helps build a squad into a team, doesn't it?
I think so. And like I said, it goes back to my earlier point that I suppose you're only kind of as strong as what your squad is. You know, you can have a really strong starting 11, but if you've nothing else to back it up and a couple of injuries come, you're in trouble. So it's about, you know, being kind of a role model for the younger players as well and showing them and kind of saying to them, it's all well and good me saying, I'll do this, and do this. But if I don't back it up, you know, it kind of goes against everything I kind of speak to them about during the week when I do speak to them.
So we'll move on to the game now. Wednesday is the first of 4 home games in 10 days. Does it make it easier that the fact that that time frame, all of the games are at St James Park?
Yeah, because it means you're not sitting on the motorway somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, we've had some away journeys this year where, you know, the travelling up on the Friday or the day before has been very, very long because we seem to encounter a little bit of difficulty all the time, whether it's a bit of traffic, a crash on the motorway, or the bus breaking down, or little things like that. Leeds Festival was another one. So, yeah, no, look, it does make it better that it's at home. I think it's nice for our home fans as well that they don't have to, you know, travel around the country for a couple of weeks. And they've been unbelievable when they have travelled as well, and they make a lot of noise. So it's a nice little break for that. But also that we're sitting in a really good position in the league at the minute. So the next 4 games, I suppose, gives the fans an opportunity to come out and get behind us once again. And hopefully we can kind of keep the run going that we're on and keep pushing.
And the heavy workload surely means that there's chances for rotation.
Yeah, exactly. Look, you have to be always ready. What that means, whether it's going to be, you know, players putting in a performance tomorrow night to get involved for the weekend's game, or whether it means you come off the bench at the weekend and do well and, you know, stake a claim for the following week. So, yeah, there's great opportunities for everyone. And like I said to you, everyone needs to be pushing it because, you know, it is a big couple of weeks when you have games like this at home. It's an opportunity for you to, I suppose everyone looks at the home games and go, well, they're the ones you're going to have your best chance of winning in. So it's an opportunity if you can string a few wins together to not put yourself in a really strong position.
So on Bristol Rovers, we thumped them back in August, but surely Wednesday is going to be a completely different game to that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was, you know, that was I suppose an early season game where a lot of players have come in, a lot of talented players have come into a squad and maybe haven't gelled as quickly as what some other teams might have done, but they've got some really, really good players, you know, and they're going to be fine once you know, once they all fully gel, and you can see with the results they picked up, they've got a good result at the weekend away at Oxford. I said I've played with a couple of their players who are excellent players and played against a lot of them throughout my career, and you know, there's a reason they were probably one of the early season favourites with the squad they have. So, you know, we have to make sure that we, you know, put in a performance like we did but earlier on the season, because if we don't, you know, they're very capable of doing the exact same to us. And when the momentum is going towards you in games like that, you know, we scored the early goal and then we got a second one earlier and put them on the back foot. I think we just killed the game off early in the first half, and that was massive. But then they showed their quality in the second half. We made a couple of changes and the players came off the bench and obviously just scored a fantastic goal against us, but the damage was already done in the first half. But you know, they're going to be a very good side. Again, like I said, they've got good players, so we need to be bang on it.
So, and finally, on this point, regardless of who plays or not in the squad has celebrated this unbeaten run with such unity. Is this one of the best dressing rooms you've been in? Yeah,
I think so. I've been in a couple of good dressing rooms where, you know, we've gone on to be successful or very, very close to being successful. And this is up there, yeah. The working environment that the gaffer and the coaching staff have created. You know, everyone enjoys coming into training every day. I think there's a good kind of rapport between the fans and the players. And they, you know, we appreciate the fact that they travel all over the country because, you know, one thing I've learned Exeter's miles away from everywhere. So there's no short journey. So we appreciate all the journeys that they've done, and I think they've appreciated the fact that, you know, we've left everything out on the pitch and every game this season, whether, you know, the performance might not be there 100% there, but the effort is always 100% there. And, you know, you're going to have ups and downs in games, but it's about, I suppose, doing what we've done in the last 15, 16 games, is just keeping yourself in it and just making sure you don't get beat at times. You know, there's teams going to be getting the upper hand on you, but as long as you're giving 100%, I think the fans will be you know, behind us the whole way, and they can appreciate everything like that. So the dressing room was really good. Like I said, the working environment is great to come into every day. There's always smiles on everyone's faces. You know, so fingers crossed we can keep that going for quite a while.